Within the last few months, Oxygen Not Included sprung forth from the recesses of early access, sculpted its first air of official release status with confidence, and boy, does it deserve to. Klei Entertainment has once again proven why they're one of the best developers in the world, as Oxygen Not Included relishes in the Canadian studio's unique style with their first attempt at a colony building space survival game. Your crew of duplicants, these wonderful little caricatures, start beneath the surfaces of procedurally generated asteroids, with nothing more than a ration box, a cloning device, ear-to-ear grins, and a desire to start colonising. Commanding your little duplicants, you'll soon set them the task of digging away the dirt, sandstone, or whatever mineral stands in the way of their shovel, as you start to expand, snaking tunnels throughout the asteroid and turning rocks into rooms. What first starts as simple goals of constructing an outhouse, finding or creating an oxygen source, and being able to make food, quickly evolves into ideas of generator rooms, hospitals, functioning bathrooms, a greenhouse, and even a place for your duplicants to sit and relax after a hard day's work. Oxygen Not Included allows these plans to germinate organically, as you stumble through the various menus, popping into the research screen to read the description of an algae terrarium, and only truly seeing what it does when you plonked it onto a piece of land. As someone who rarely plays games like Oxygen Not Included, the terminology felt slightly alien, but that didn't matter to me. Experimenting with the various contraptions is part of the fun, as well as creating a clunky pipe system which has to be adjusted on the fly to suit another ambitious idea. Retconning decisions is a massive part of any colony building game, and Oxygen Not Included is wedged under that umbrella, as your humble beginnings turn into a spider-webbed mess of pipes, ventilation shafts, power grids and more. All of it trying to fit into a bunch of systems to help you survive, prosper and eventually shoot a rocket into the stars, although you don't even need to get to that stage to feel like you've had your fill. While the game gives you overarching objectives like surviving 200 cycles or making space travel possible, the game is largely fueled by your own desire and the micro goals which end up taking hours upon hours of planning and execution. With its childlike art style and humour, Oxygen Not Included makes it appear less of a space simulator and more like The Sims in space. But don't let that fool you. Beneath the playful crust, it's brimming with complexity and a level of depth which will challenge any space simulator out there. Its core just happens to be about making an easily digestible experience. To thrive in Oxygen Not Included's subsurface world though, you'll need to understand its systems. From temperature management to gas distribution, Klei want you to think about the weight of hydrogen or which gas will be more useful to cool down an area. You'll spend your time trying to find the most efficient options as you recycle and reuse polluted water and filter it clean again, or send water into an electrolyzer to create hydrogen and oxygen, which can then in turn be harvested. The attention to detail in Oxygen Not Included is wonderful. Klei's art team flaunt their brilliance with creatures chomping enthusiastically, their mouths becoming larger than their heads, or weird millwood plants which have creepy crawlies scurrying over their branches. It's a style which has its roots firmly in one of Klei's most popular games, Don't Starve, and yet is jam-packed with its own personality. Alongside the world's depth, your duplicants also have their own personalities and skills, with some loving to dig and others randomly falling asleep or farting frequently. This even creates natural gas which can then be filtered. As well as their abilities and stats, the duplicants have morale which is affected by a whole variety of factors, particularly though when their comrade ends up suffocating in the area where the toilet waste is sent, hypothetically speaking, of course. While there are niggles to the experience, from relatively frequent frame rate drops at the start of each cycle, the AI occasionally getting confused, or even the game crashing, which of course can be quite frustrating, these issues seem like the aftermath of early access. With the game having a decent swell of community support and the developers just as keen to keep improving, Oxygen Not Included appears to be going onwards and upwards, or whatever direction you fancy really. Thank you very much for listening and watching my video review. If you did like it, let me know. I hope you do buy this game because it is a wonderful, wonderful experience and I promise you will not be disappointed. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Goodbye.